Hello, so I'm going to have us take a look at how to make this box. This is the one we did in class, but we didn't get to the really hard part, which is not helpful, right? So I'm going to quickly review because we have one student that is abroad, and so a really quick review will be good for him, and then also for us, we'll work at the side and the clasp, the slot and tab clasp. So let's get to work. So when we were in class, what we did was we took a piece of cardboard, remove all that. We took our metal ruler, and I'll zip through this, but if you are that said student that is abroad, I want you to please just pause as you need to, okay? So we measured 7 inches. Oh, I've got my ruler upside down, that doesn't help. So we measured 7 inches wide, and we measured 11 inches length. And we had 4 inches and measured 3 inches, 4 inches, okay? And we made our lines. So at the 4-inch mark, and then again at the 7-inch mark, and then of course we'd end with that 11-inch mark. Once we got our 7 by 11-inch rectangle, we then along that 4th inch and 7-inch mark, took our ruler and we scored that edge, okay, with our X-Acto knife. And remember to score, this was a long time ago, but all you have to do is just rip across that edge without cutting through the board. Do it again down at this mark, and then when you go ahead and fold it, it's going to make a really nice edge. It's going to be very right angled, okay? Then we went over to our extra. We lined it up. Now we want to make sure, because we're putting the edges, we're putting the sides of our box on, okay? So this is the body of the box, putting the edges on. So when we did that, we lined it up, but remember we lined it up so that we had a margin. We wanted to make sure that we had about 1 centimeter or more, a little bit more, but 1 centimeter would work. About 1 centimeter around the whole piece of our box. We drew a line around that box. Then once we had that line, we made a mark to make sure we knew where the box ended. We went and eyeballed this. Woohoo! Eyeballing it, winging it is, I know, not your favorite, but what we did was we took the masking tape roll on the inside and used it as a template, and we made an arc. And once we moved that arc, we then went ahead and altered the arc to match that right there, that vertex. We made that vertex and made our arc on that edge, okay? And that helped us make that finished edge for the top of the box. Let me show you the box again. There's the top of that box. Now on the inside, we're going to go ahead and make that debulked corner. We did this in the earlier assignment with making pockets. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember that, but we are going to do that again now. So with our scissors, we can go ahead and cut, but I don't need to make any kind of other edge than this is the raw edge right here, but this one, I guess we can go ahead and cut. Let me just draw it out for you. We could go ahead and cut that whole margin out, but these corners need to be debulked, so I'm going to go ahead and do that immediately. I'm not going to go ahead and cut here straight and then cut here. It's just not efficient. So I'm going to go ahead and debulk that corner in my plan right there, and I'm just making a diagonal line here and a diagonal line there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. With my scissors, here I go. And I have my template for the side of my box. And then I'm going to go ahead and retrace it. And just to save myself some time, see how I'm lining it up so I already have those edges cut? I'm going to go ahead and do that. Ooh, excuse me. Make sure they're the same. Go ahead and cut those. And again, pause as needed through this video. You don't have to just watch it and then try to remember it. Just trying to make it as fast as I can because it gets really boring quick. like that. Then I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is score. So I'm going to go ahead and score kind of together. I'm putting the ends together. See how they're symmetrical? They're mirror image. I'm lining that up, taking my ruler, removing my trash, lining those up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to score those edges. Let me find them first. Okay. So I'm going to score here. Don't cut through. Remember, pressure is very important. And just wherever I can, I'm just saving myself some time so I don't have to. Let's see if at all possible. It's a little bit uneven, but it's life, isn't it? But even though these are metal rulers, you can actually score into them. Okay, I can feel where my bends are. These two sides have not been cut. Okay. Okay, now I can go ahead and fold these. And again, most of us did this in class, but look how that debulk happened. Look at that. It's perfect. It lines up. That's called a miter cut. And it's just not going to get all bunched up in those corners. Those corners are going to be really clean. I go over here. I have my box, and see how that's just going to go together beautifully. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue that. La 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 la. Same on the other side. Okay, so those two pieces go together, and this video is getting really long, so I better stop right there. But what I'm going to do on the offhand, I'm going to put glue here, glue here, glue here. I'm going to stick that in that, that body sheath, and then I personally am going to grab masking tape and just put a bead of that around that to keep it and hold it in place until it's cured. Once it's cured, I can gently pull that tape off. It might cause a little ripping. You can see here in my box, I got a little bit of ripping. Basically because I really pushed that on thinking I was going to keep the tape there, and then I changed my mind. So if you don't put it on too tightly, it's not going to be much of a problem. So I'm going to put that in kind of loosely just to hold it in place while it cures, and then we'll come back and do the lid. All right.